What's up, y'all, and welcome back to the Reality Kingdom, where we put the real in reality or whatever. Period.
Period. And we're here.
For another occasionally recap.
And now, I honestly, it's not period. It's not very
It's
period.
not period.
I mean, Cameron's the HOH winner.
Period.
Oh, you was rooting for this. Yeah, Pharaoh was rooting for Cameron to win. I wanted America or
we need
Mimi
to
to
switch
win.
up.
Because for the girls who don't know, the final three in the competition was America, Mimi, and Cameron for a while. And I really wanted Mimi or America to get it. Now, I was scared about Mimi because, her allies are chaotic. And I can definitely see if she wins and do anything that they do not want, she would be the next target. But I was like, I just would have loved to see her in power. I would have loved to see America in power. But Cameron, it's like, I just feel like he's going to be annoying all week.
He's annoying regardless. That's my thing. If he's going to be here, might as well do something. I don't be annoying for a reason. I like that Cameron's HOH because we just got right into it. But I like that Cameron's HOH because he is going to switch it up even a little bit. I really don't think there's that much to switch up.
I don't think because
him winning HOH is going to piss them off the most, and I'd rather them be most pissed off than them be pissed off for no reason. That's the thing. What kills me is that if Mimi, America, or Cameron won HOH, they would have been scrambling for no reason. At least now they kind of have a reason. He might not
barely because
it's always going to get barely, but this is the most reason they have.
Because I honestly think one conversation with Cirie, Cameron is just going to not necessarily do what she wants, but we have to realize like Cirie has made an alliance with everyone in this game. She's in an alliance with Cameron called Legend 25. It's Red, Cameron, Matt, Cirie, Izzy, Felicia, Mimi,
and I think Jared.
I think maybe Jared. Child. A lot. Well, I don't think it's Jared because Red kept asking Cirie if Jared knew about the alliance, which is why they kept getting so freaked out about it. But that's the thing. It's so like they make so many alliances that it's like you can't keep up. But that Legend 25 alliance, I think that he not necessarily going to be loyal to, but you're not going to do a move that you know you don't have numbers to do it with. And Red and Cameron for this last few weeks, they've been very much against Jag and Blue. So I do think the initial nominees will just be Jag and Blue. Now, Renom could be interesting, but I think it would just end up being someone like America. I do think America could go home this week because if Jag or Blue wins veto, which is likely, specifically Jag, he has no one else to renom. Because Bowie is also in Legend 25. It's Cirie, Felicia, Bowie, Mimi, Matt, Red, Izzy, Cameron. So no Jared. So that's the thing. Maybe Jared is on the table, but I just feel like once Jared is not gonna. If he goes up, he won't go home, and I don't think he's gonna go up. I think honestly, it would be Jag Blue, Renom America, because those are the people that they kind of aren't working with in any kind of way. They try with America, but they've recently been like, we don't necessarily trust her. No one in the house really trusts America. So that's why she really needed this competition win. But I think this is still going to be a basic week, and they're just going to spiral for nothing. Like, it's going to be the exact same thing.
Yeah, I agree. 100%. Period. Boom. Let's back it up, though, because we started the pressure cooker competition, and we found out that it was going to be in the dark. There might be some jumps here and there. It wasn't really many jumps here and there. They were literally just in the dark. They released some snakes, but not even released them. They're just in the center of the room.
They released snakes in the center of the room.
I'm assuming that was like they were dead.
The snakes was the first jump scare, and it was under this like black cloth in the center. The feeds went down, they came back up, and then Cirie and Jared were out, and then the snakes were there, and the snakes just sat in the center the entire time. Now, people on Twitter were like, I don't know why they brought snakes in there. That's inhumane to the snakes, which I get it. Especially because it was cold the entire time.
It was also pointless. Like I would get it if the snakes were actually they had a point there. They actually didn't really have a point.
That's why I thought they were going to release them into the room. I thought they were going to like have them have to hold. I don't know, but like the fact that they were just in the center that entire time, like what's supposed to be scary about that? Yeah. I think probably one of the more effective things they kept blasting cool air into the room. But other than that, they really did not add much. I think they started pumping the smell of raw sewage in the room. Yeah, but I don't think that also affected people too much. Like these people was really determined, and I saw a lot of people was like, "Oh, I didn't think that they were going to actually last." No, girl, They were lasting, but I felt this though. I felt that Cameron, Red, America could be people that were going to last a long time. Cameron and America ended up being the last two, and no one was going to want to drop for either one of them.
Yeah.
So it makes sense that it lasted this long. I think they were about I think they were about 10 or 1 minute, some people are saying, from actually breaking the record of longest competition ever. But it's still right there. Like, it was 13 hours and 50 something minutes.
Yeah, they said 1 minute, but we don't even know for sure because we don't know exactly when the conversation started because we were on commercial break.
That's true.
So it could have went over the time by a minute, or it could have been at the same time. We don't really know the technicalities, but literally based on what we do know, it was still only 1 minute off, and it's like, damn. And it was also pressure cooker. That's the thing. Pressure cooker gonna give you 14 hours.
It is. I'm hoping this is something that gets brought back every year. Like, this should be the coveted wall or the coveted BB Comics or the OTEB. Like, this needs to be a yearly competition because I feel like people kept thinking like, oh, like endurance competitions aren't the same anymore. I genuinely feel like it's because we're having people hang from things. If my big ass was in that house, what am I hanging from longer than 5 minutes? Let's be realistic here. Like, and that's why another recent competition that lasted for a long time, 6 hours isn't that long, but it's still pretty long compared to the other comps, was the dubstep competition at BB18, where they were just standing and holding their hands up. And even then, they threw that at the 6 hour mark. You know, Davon and Bridget threw it to James. So I just feel like it's because instead of them hanging there, you have something where everyone in the cast can equally participate in. And I think that genuinely, if this was a competition that's regularly happening, it will always be about this long. I don't think many people are going to want to throw this competition at all.
Yeah, it's something everyone can win too. I just feel like they don't want it to go this long, and that's why they haven't had it. But it's like, y'all need to get over it, please. But
I like that shouldn't really affect it too much. Like, for example, like he won this morning, he still have time to nominate tonight, even if you give him time to nap. And then they did it upstairs indoors, so they still have the backyard.
It was outside. Yeah, they literally came through the outside, the backyard door when Izzy and Cirie and Jared walked in.
I didn't know it was outside.
It was literally outside. I thought it was upstairs. They were outside.
That's a gag. So they definitely must have definitely just squared off a section. Like, it definitely wasn't like the entire backyard, which still it gives them time to do veto and do other things they want to do backyard things. So it's like, this is something they should continue to do. I don't care if it was 24 hours, bitch. Like, I love this type of endurance comp. I wish they did more like this.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, bring back dubstep. Bring back the one that Jessica.
Yeah, literally, it's interesting. Even though like people are like, it's boring just watching them. It's really interesting to see how determined they can get. Because I was literally thinking like, bitch, I would not be here. I would have been gone. Hour one, I would have been out of there. Like, why are y'all still there? People were peeing on themselves. Matt and Jag peed on themselves in the chicken costume and peeing on the ground. Me, like, I don't know. And
I feel like if I peed on myself, I would just need to win. Like, I would be so mad. I all the way pissed myself, and I lost.
I peed on myself for no reason. And it's like, you did, baby.
You did, baby.
Sorry.
And then the fact that, like,
prizes.
I mean, what? I know that Red got an in-home theater thing. Now Mimi got a private dinner, and she can invite 3 guests. She better invite Cirie. Please, God, invite Cirie.
Got 3 more guests, so it'll be her and 3 other people on the dinner.
It better be Cirie, Felicia, and Izzy. Keep it cute, Mimi. Keep it cute, Mimi, because they will spiral if she brings anybody else.
I feel like she's gonna think, why would I bring my 3 closest allies so everybody can know we all together?
And I probably think she will think that, and she's gonna end up choose. She's gonna choose Bowie. She's gonna choose Bowie, Cameron, and America. They're gonna be like, what? Because especially Cirie, she's from Survivor. That literally happens in Survivor when people win a reward and they don't bring certain people. The other people be like, why wouldn't she bring us? Like, aren't you working with us, or are you trying to? So I definitely see that happening, and just please bring one of them at least. Felicia, somebody.
Why did y'all get? I want to know why they gave Red a Paramount Plus subscription for one. Like the prizes back in the day.
I thought he got an in-home theater
and a Paramount Plus subscription for 1 year. But my thing is,
I never give out Paramount Plus subscription.
My thing is, y'all was giving out Netflix when Netflix just started. Like, that was huge. And now y'all giving out Paramount Plus for a month or a year?
They're owned by Paramount. I expected that.
But I just feel like that's so. The prizes
for a year is crazy. What I'm saying.
The prizes were weak as fuck. If you're gonna give a Paramount Plus, it could have been forever. A year?
It could have been lifetime. A year.
Like, y'all own it. What do you mean a year? What the fuck? That shit would have pissed me off. But yeah, it's just the prize. That was the biggest prize, and that was weak as fuck. I think Cirie got beer. Okay.
Yeah.
That was it.
Blue won $1,000.
Oh, and Blue won some money.
About that. Girl, give
just
me that.
1,000. Where's the 5,000? I don't know. I feel like they used to give out more.
Y'all ungrateful hoes. I've been 1,000. Period.
I feel like they used to give out more. People was getting punishment. Matt had to open some flies. They were dead. Flies were dead. Snakes were dying. They just killed animals. This whole comp.
For fun.
I don't know what they were doing. But so boom. Cirie, Izzy, and Jared were the first three out of the competition. When they went in the house, you know, it's them and Miss Felicia. So it's the Fields. They're all spiraling.
Now, child, Izzy up here crying. She's questioning.
Did Corey play us? Now, they think Corey played them because right before, I want to say the live episode, or right before the live episode, I want to say, Corey had a conversation with Izzy about how at the end game, you know, you and I, we'd go home if we were sitting next to Jared. We'd go home if we were sitting next to Cirie. We're going to need to do something about that. And when he had the conversation, I was like, I don't know why the fuck he just had that comment with Izzy.
Izzy of all people.
And it's like, it's good that he's thinking it, but it's like, why are you having it at top 14? Tyson was still in the house. Tyson was still in the house.
He assumed that she was playing to win, and that was his biggest mistake.
But it's like, even if she was, it's way too early to talk about it. It's top 14.
I honestly don't think it's too early. I think if she was a self-interested player, I think it's a fair competition. I think it's a fair conversation to have with someone that's playing for themselves. The only reason why Izzy even said this information is because she clearly is playing for Jared and Cirie to win. I don't think it's too early to have this conversation. I think it's the right time. We're about to go into jury. We should be thinking about these in-game plans. Cirie and Jared are going to win this game. Izzy has said her damn self. So I don't understand why she would even spill this information, because you're going to need people to go against them if you want to win. But it's like she goes back and forth from, I'm going to lose and I don't know, to being up Cirie's ass. So I just think that was one of those moments when all of this stuff was going out about Corey, and she was like, I mean, Corey did say, you know, we have to get you guys out. And Cirie wasn't too worried, because she was like, was it now or down the line? Yeah. And she said that Corey said, let's get down to 7, the For Real Alliance. And then we'll do it. And she said, well, I'm not worried about that, because if we get to the 7, then we can just take him out. So it don't matter. He won't even be here before the 7. So Corey, girl, you in danger. You in danger, girl.
It is, because now Miss Felicia's like, honestly, after Cameron and Red, it needs to be Corey. I don't trust it. This is my thing. Cameron's HOH. And Corey has like a relationship with him. If they see Corey talking to Cameron anytime, that's the thing. They're so nitpicky. Corey could have one combo with Cameron because he's the fucking HOH. And they're going to be like, why is he talking to Cameron? The HOH. Doesn't make any sense to me. Yeah. And it's like, oh my God. It could, depending on how it goes, it could get bad for anybody, honestly.
Right.
So it's like, ooh. But yeah, that information got spilled. They started talking about it. Woo. And then Miss Felicia was like, shit, we probably should have fucking kept Tyson because Cameron finna win. And when she mentioned that, Cirie and Izzy, they were agreeing. And Jared was like, well, Tyson told me that he wanted not to trust Cirie and not to trust Felicia anyway. And they were like,
and he said, he told me this today and yesterday. Yep. He's been telling me that. And mind you, he's a little bit tipsy here. I think he was drinking. I think he had 4 of the beers. Someone said on Twitter. He had a few of those beers. So you could tell, because his words were slurring a little bit. He didn't seem all the way there in the moment when they were talking about it. But I think that's a lie. I think that's just 100% a bold-faced lie.
Yeah.
And they were questioning him like, well, why would he say, why didn't you tell us? Like, can you give us reasons as to why you didn't feel comfortable saying that, or didn't just tell us? Because if you had told us, we would have never wavered. And he was like, don't question me. It makes me feel like y'all don't trust me. And why are y'all not trusting me on this? And it's like, so we had to get in his ass real quick. It's not about trusting you. Like she basically said it in so many words. I'm your mama, nigga. Like, trust is not an issue here. The issue is, if you knew information,
personal game information.
Personal game information. That's game, Davon. Let me stop. But he didn't give them that info, but I think it's because it's made up. And I think, honestly, that's Cirie's issue. Not issue, but like, she has been, I think, too trusting of Jared's game. Like, I think that she feels like he got it. Like, his relationships are solid. If he tells her they are, like, she trusts all the information he brings. But from the beginning, he hasn't been bringing reliable, necessary information. That's why she's had to go and create her own structures because he wasn't doing the best at protecting her because he was on the outside of the original family style anyway.
Yeah,
So it's like,
honestly, I don't understand why she's so trusting of him because I'm thinking of
it's
my
her
family.
son.
But listen, I'm thinking of my family members. I wouldn't trust any of them dummies. Like, no offense, but it's like honestly, just because he's your son, I don't see why. First of all, my mom is still teaching me stuff to this day.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still teaching my mom things, So it's like it doesn't matter who this is, even if it was my best friend, my cousin. I wouldn't trust anybody 100. Not I wouldn't trust them, and that's the thing. The issue isn't that I don't trust you. The issue is that you can't have blind faith that Jared got it because he doesn't. Babe.
He don't.
Just like you wouldn't have blind faith honestly, you shouldn't have blind faith in anyone. You shouldn't have blind faith in anyone, whether your cousin, your uncle, they could just not know exactly what they're doing all the time. And Jared never knows what he's doing. So he's fucking shit up, lying to you all. He lies to her so much. He lies to her about what Matt, he was lying to her week 1. I remember night 2, he was saying, oh, Matt got your back, girl. Matt never said that. What are you talking about? Like he was lying night 1.
He was like, yeah, Matt and Jack, they love you.
Jack and Riley and Matt and Blue and the whole alliance would never take you out. Let's work with these people who will never take you out. Girl, no one said that. But mind you, maybe he was right because they're all up her ass.
Well, I think the thing is he kind of tells Corey a little bit too every once in a while, like because him and Corey are on the same page about Cirie's and Izzy's paranoia and how it affects them, and he tells Corey a lot. Like, I understand how they feel about Blue, so I don't bring her up when I'm around them because he does not want them to distrust Blue more than they already do. So he definitely is more self-interested than what Cirie is to him. But it was really interesting seeing him in this situation because he's so paranoid. And I know they're going to continue to be paranoid this entire week because they kept Cameron and voted out Heisem even though they wanted to flip the entire time. And now Cameron's HOH. Yeah. So Jared thinks that he is going up. Yeah. He thinks he's going up because
or getting back door, really.
Yeah, exactly. Because we mentioned earlier that Red asked about, does Jared know about Legend 25? Does he know about the Alliance? So he thinks that he's in danger this week. I don't think he's in any danger. I do think, like I said, it's going to be Jag and Blue, and that
Rena.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, maybe even you accidentally said Mimi earlier, and it's like it could actually be Mimi. If it's not America, it might be Mimi. It doesn't give Jared, honestly, in my opinion, and I think Cirie is going to easily reduce that target anyways after one conversation, literally. So I think they're so good. So basically that's what happened with that tiffle. Jared kind of went to his room and laid down like a little boy. He like pouted away, laid down the rest of the night. Cirie, Izzy, and Felicia kept talking shit about everybody while they was playing the comp. And then boom.
They love watching that TV.
Literally watching the TV, talking shit, making up conversations. We got that to the end, and that's the thing. When Cameron and America were the last two, and America slipped, they talked about America made a deal. America made a deal with him, and we can't trust America, and she dropped on purpose. And it's like, damn, like, so they don't know what to think already.
Noah Jane was goofing and joking with Red and Cameron the entire night.
They literally discussed after Cameron Red. First of all, it's not going to give after Cameron Red. Someone's going this week.
This was going to be really interesting because we had 2 weeks before jury, presumably, and I thought it was going to be Red and Cameron, potentially the first member of jury. But now this is where it gets interesting because I think Jag and Blue is going to go home this week, maybe America. So that, like, you know, I think that kind of solidifies that most likely it will be Red, Cameron, or some type of combination next, which buys a lot of time for your Jags, your Blues, your Mats. Like, it gets really interesting. And now we kind of have that setup that Corey wanted. If we're in jury, we're in top 10, we now have, you know, Matt, Jag, Blue still here, America still here. Me and you can flip with them. That's kind of what Corey keeps proposing to Jared. Jared keeps shooting it down, but Jared also does not really share the information with Cirie and them. Yeah. He did last night. He was like, oh, Corey thinks he can beat us in the end game, but he's not telling them that Corey literally wants to create an alliance with the leftover people at that point. So I just don't think that he's intimidated or scared by Corey at all. But I mean, we'll see how that's going to work out. It'll be really interesting because her entire core structure, Felicia couldn't compete, and then when Jerry, Cirie, Izzy out first. Everyone that they have no trust in, we're lasting a while in this competition. And that's what I was saying. As these competitions get to a point of more like, there's just more energy has to go into them. Like, not everything's going to be a luck competition or a mental competition. Like, there's going to be some physical attributes. And if no one in your core can get these next few comps, then what, basically? It's going to get really interesting.
Yeah. I think right now it's still going to be like a like we could probably expect Jag and Blue Nom, stuff like that. But we'll see. Maybe some shit can switch up. Already there's conversations. Izzy didn't seem happy when you won
Right.
age.
Now, I would like a good nasty Izzy backdoor.
So
I
they
don't
could
care if
be,
she doesn't go home. Put her up. Put her
yeah,
on
there
lock.
could be some sprinkles of stuff to be excited about, y'all. But shit, I guess we got to stay tuned, especially these next couple of comps, because the wall comp has to come. And it's like, are y'all going to stay up on that wall? Y'all couldn't even hold a button.
Nicole will be winning that.
Nicole. So it's like, we just got to see. It's still interesting. It's still interesting. So stay tuned. Beach. Period. We'll be here for the Tuesdays and the Thursday for the BBTs or whatever. We'll also be here for the challenge, so check that out or whatever. And baby, thank you for keeping it real with the kingdom or whatever. And we out. Period. I know that's right.